So today I'm talking about the number one pivot to do in your yoga business right now. And I want to just start with this. Uncertainty is the only thing that is certain. Uncertainty is the only thing that's certain. And if last year taught us anything, it's the need for us to be adaptable in our business. And we saw, didn't we? We saw and experienced, everything changing within a couple of weeks, within a matter of weeks. Teachers hurrying to get their classes online, learning all the skills, the tech, the audio, the booking systems. There was so much going on. And of course, transitioning your students from your in-person classes to your Zoom classes. But not only that, retaining them and attracting new students as well. So much happened last year. It was a powerful pivot to get your businesses online. And I really do applaud you all for it, because many of the fears and the objections that I've heard in the past from teachers as to why they're not teaching online were out the window. Like, there wasn't time to give energy to those fears anymore. So really, that's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing because it showed you that in times of necessity and uncertainty, that giving energy to those fears that hold you back, there was no need to do that, really. And it really proves to you that you're capable to release fears, to release those fears that hold you back in your day-to-day. You don't need times of uncertainty and necessity to do that. It's really about making a decision to show up in a different way. And you've gone through so much that nothing really should be standing in your way right now, especially fears around tech, or being visible online and sharing your message. You've already made a powerful pivot. Last year you already made a powerful pivot, but what's next? And I don't know about you guys, but here in the UK, 2021 is feeling kind of similar to 2020. We're here in lockdown, our third lockdown, and I think, we have to be prepared for this similarity to be hanging around for a little while longer. And instead of crumbling at that prospect, it's time to really lean into the lessons that you've already learned and the experience that you've already gained. And you guys should be experts at this now. Like, you've perhaps even had 9 or 10 months of teaching online during a pandemic under your belt. So we understand where we're at, okay? And, this is here to stay. This is here to stay. And quite honestly, getting yourself online is one of the best things that could have happened to your business. Like, you finally got yourself online. And now you get to reach more people. Yeah, now you get to help more people. You get to create a bigger impact. And that's exactly what the world needs right now. If we can release the fear, we don't need to wait until we're in a situation where we're forced to do something to release that fear. You can release those fears. We choose to hold on to fears. We choose to hold on to them, but we can decide not to. And you guys proved that to yourself now. You've proved it. So I'm excited for you all. I'm excited that you guys are online and, you're here to create this impact. Like, I really believe that this is what we've all been called in to do. Like, this is why you're listening to this now. We've got a job to do, guys. We've got a job to do, and it's exciting. But it does mean that you need to look at shedding layers. Yeah, you need to look at who you are now and who you need to be in this new world. And if your purpose is to help people to heal, okay, well, how are you going to do that now? Like, how are you really going to do that? Is a Zoom class really going to create that impact that you want to create in the world and in your community? Probably not. Probably not. So we need to really look at how we can show up differently and look at how we show up in a different capacity. And, the yoga teacher You guys, really now you're the guide, aren't you? You're the mentor, you're the coach that is really supporting people to reach a transformation in their lives. So I want to ask you guys a question. Like, what is the transformation that your students are looking for? Do they suffer with extreme anxiety or PTSD? Like, are they looking to be free from addiction? Are they work from home mothers who are now homeschooling and need accountability for their own self-care and their own downtime? Like, what is the journey that your students are currently on that's really calling them now to be healed? Yeah, what's the story that they want to release? Like, what is the trauma that's coming up for them right now that they need guidance and support with to work through and process? People need support right now. People need support. What is the journey that your students are on? And just look around you. Like, look around you at your friends, your family, your network. People are going through stuff right now. People are going through stuff right now. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming up. There's a lot of things that people are dealing with. And maybe even yourself, you might have enrolled in something recently. I have. I've joined a monthly meditation, like a meditation membership. I've also enrolled in a course with a guy called Mark Groves. It's a 4-week course, and it's called Rediscover Your Wholeness, and it covers like relationships, boundaries, codependencies. These are all things coming up for me personally as a result of my marriage breaking up. And like, there's meditations, journaling, all sorts of things to like really work through and process emotions. And I'm not alone. Like, there's a lot of people out there right now who are going through some heavy stuff. And we have a role to really support people on these journeys. Because we have the tools, right? We have the tools and we have the skills, we have the knowledge and the expertise to support people. So it's more than just being a yoga teacher. Like, you have an opportunity now. You have an opportunity to really guide and support your students on a much, much deeper level. There's an opportunity now to really guide your students inside your signature program. Yeah, your signature program. And you must be more than just a yoga teacher. So it's really about this new identity and a new way to brand yourself as an expert and as an authority. Are there any ideas coming up as to how you might do this in your business? Because it's really time to go deeper, isn't it? And I think, if 2020's powerful pivot was about getting your classes online, well, 2021, the powerful pivot now is for you to supercharge that with your offerings and to show up in a much fuller and a much bigger way and to hold more space, like to take up more space with your offering. And as I said, that's not a Zoom class. That's not a Zoom class. Your most powerful pivot right now is to create your signature program in 2021. So this isn't a $97 course, right? When I say your signature program, it's not a $97 course. It's a program that guides your students from point A, which is where they are now in this sticky, heavy space, to point B, where they're free from those heavy emotions and stress and anxiety and anything else that's really kind of holding them down right now and stopping them from moving forward. And you have the tools, right? You have the knowledge and the habits that you can impart on them. Probably you've been where they are now, and you can guide them to the place that they desire to be. And from an entrepreneurial perspective, like, we cannot simply just wait this out. Like, the time is now for us to do this and to really look at how we can support our communities, but also how we can support ourselves, because there's lockdowns happening now all around the world, and we can't simply do the same thing that we did last year and expect to thrive, let alone survive. last year we saw an influx of teachers going online, yeah, and you shouldn't be fearful of that, because if you're living with this abundant mindset, then you know that there's enough to go around. Like, there's billions of people out there, many of whom have never even discovered yoga yet. There's definitely enough to go around. However, your Zoom class is like phase one, yeah? Your Zoom class is like phase one. So what's phase two? Like, how are you now going to take it up a notch? How are you going to continue to serve your community and meet them where they are now? So, ask yourself, if you're thinking, well, I'm just going to stick with my Zoom classes, is that really going to serve your students and your community in the best way possible? Or do your students now need something else? Do they now need more than that to support them? When I think about this and what's happened over the last year, remember that these uncertain times, when we're going through things that are very, very new, we've never been through before, they bring with it new behavior and new needs, new requirements, new rules. And I really believe that when it comes to your class schedule and your weekly Zoom class, if you're marketing yourself and leading with the message, come to my Zoom class, then you're not really tapping into the emotion that your students are feeling right now. Like, you're not tapping into that transformation that they're looking for. And it's that emotion that really makes someone take action. That's what's going to keep people engaged and keep them coming back. So that's going to help you to retain your students when you tap into the emotion and the transformation that they're looking for. Like, they're not coming for yoga. They're coming for the benefit that they're going to get, like how they're going to feel, for the outcome that's really kind of helping them in specific areas of their life. Does that make sense, guys? So that's really important for your marketing and your messaging, is to lead with that transformation and to really tap into people's emotions, like not in a salesy way or an icky way, but showing that you really understand your students. You understand them where they are, and you can meet them where they're at. Yeah, and you can guide them. You can be the person to guide them and lead the way, because you too have been in that place, quite likely. So this pivot of 2021 and what you really should be thinking about now is made up of two key parts, really. And it's always the same. It's always strategy and mindset. Those two things need to be working together. And the strategy is your signature course or program. Yeah, this signature transformative course or program. And the mindset is who you need to be in order to deliver that transformational offering with your students. And it's not just being a yoga teacher. It's not being just a yoga teacher. So it's this offering, isn't it? It's this offering that is more than just your Zoom class. It's your signature program. And that's not to say that you won't have a weekly schedule of online classes, but you must have a signature program in 2021. Like, it should be your main thing, your core offering. And I honestly believe that all of you watching right now, and whether you're on the replay, all of you have an online course that you can offer. Like, there's no better way to make a bigger impact than to package up your gifts in an online course and start sharing it further around the world. Start reaching more people. All of us, right? We all want to be able to have more free time, more flexibility. We want to be able to move away from, a packed week of Zoom classes and have more financial freedom, whilst also being able to share your knowledge and feel really passionate and excited about what you're doing. Am I right? It's likely that you do feel some fears come up. because fears always come up. You know, when you're making changes or progress in your business or doing new things, fear is part of the parcel. However, we know that we don't need to stay stuck in that fear, because feeling fear is normal, but staying stuck in that fear really is a choice. It really is. So we can decide not to stay there for too long. We can get the guidance and support, and we can learn what we need to learn in order to move ourselves out of that fear. Because quite often, fear comes up, resistance comes up when there's a skills gap, or there's a knowledge gap, or a competency gap, and we can fill those gaps. Yeah, we can learn and fill those gaps. So, you know, we need to ask ourselves, right? We need to ask ourselves, do I want to continue focusing my time and energy in teaching my Zoom classes and these lower priced offerings, which lead to burnout and I'm still struggling to pay the bills? Or do I want to explore these higher priced offerings and signature programs where I can step up into the role of, you know, yoga coach or a leader in my community and get paid for being me and creating that impact that I want to create in the world? Because it really does come back to your purpose, doesn't it? It comes back to your purpose and your why and what you're really doing here, you know, in this space. What is the impact that you really want to create in this space? And creating an online course or a program is not just bunching a load of classes together and calling it a course. That's not what it is. You know, for your students, it's about leading them towards this specific outcome and a transformation. So it's really your job as a course creator to pull together your content and to craft your program in a way that's going to take your students from that point A to the point B, using a proven process, a system, your proven system that takes them to that desired outcome. So it's important, isn't it? It's important that we understand who our student is, who our ideal students are, so that you can really create that course that's going to, that's going to meet their needs, that's going to help them with their yoga journey. The other thing to remember is that when you create your signature higher priced course, and this is kind of in relation to what Nicole is saying here, when you create your signature higher priced course, you create the content and you can sell it over and over and over again. So your program, your course actually becomes an asset in your business. Like you only have to create it once, and then you can have multiple launches throughout the year and to get people to sign up and enroll in your program. And of course, you know, you'll make tweaks and you'll update the content, but that could be once a year that you update that content. So what you actually do is all of the hard work up front. You do all of the hard work up front, and then you focus on launching and building your online student community. And, you know, having this asset in your business, having this online course, it allows you to gain credibility and to become an expert within your community. And this ultimately means that your niche will want to work with you. Okay, so let's say that you are a yoga leader and you've created a course for yoga teachers around anatomy, okay, because you're a big anatomy geek and you love sharing your knowledge to other yoga teachers, and you focus on this in all of your content that you share, whether that's on YouTube, Instagram. You will become the go-to for yoga teachers to learn more about anatomy, yeah, especially for those who connect with you and your personality and your style of teaching. And of course, there's going to be other anatomy yoga teachers out there. But remember, there's enough people to go around in the world. And so there's value. There's always going to be value in you presenting your topic in your own unique way and in your style. And as yoga teachers, you have knowledge and experience. You also have your own personal story, knowledge and experience. And for most of the yoga teachers I've worked with over the years, one thing I know to be true is that when it comes to defining your niche and your ideal student, quite often your ideal student is you a few years ago. And now you're a few steps ahead and you've been through that process. You've been through that transformation personally, using the tools that you know, and using the, having the expertise that you have gained. And so now you're in a position to be able to package up that knowledge in a way that allows you to guide your students through the same process. And we don't need to overcomplicate these things. Like, you don't need to go and get a qualification on how to create a signature course in your chosen topic. You just need to be willing to learn the process of creating a course and learn how best to package up and craft your course in a way that's going to take people from A to B. And that's why you're here in this community, to get that support, to get that accountability from other teachers who are going through this same journey as you right now. So, I'd say just don't overcomplicate it in your head, because you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in everything that you've done up until this point to get to where you are at this point. And, likely you've had years of yoga training, you've spent and invested a lot of time and money to gain the knowledge that you have. And so you're always definitely going to be ahead of your students and have knowledge that people will want to pay for, will want to spend money to receive that guidance. Okay, but it is down to mindset as well. It's down to mindset, and it's really about you believing in you and what you have to offer, and being 100% sold on what you have to offer. So that is really the second part of this pivot, is the mindset. Who do you need to be to put this online course and to put this signature program out into the world? And if you didn't launch an online course last year, then you weren't, back in 2020, being the type of yoga business owner who creates and launches an online course. And so, it goes without saying that you now need to be a different person to who you were last year. And that really requires you to shift your mindset into a different mindset. And I've seen, some massive shifts and transformation with my own students who are teachers inside the Profitable Yoga Teacher Program, who have made huge shifts in how they now think about themselves and how they're thinking about their business, and, how they're acting in their business and how they're now showing up in a different way. And it's really amazing to see this. I'm just going to pull up a couple of the comments that they shared in the group, some of the teachers shared in the group earlier. So Megan said that the biggest shift for her has been about the value that she offers and that she can charge more. So that kind of goes back to what your comment, Andrea. And also Jessica said that she's shifted from seeking perfection to showing up consistently and authentically. And Zaz said that she now thinks of her work on her business as almost like a lab project that she can keep tweaking. It doesn't have to be perfect first time. So, these shifts in the way that we think mean that we start to show up consistently, and we start to release those fears that are holding us back. So this big pivot of 2021 is really about you going from being just a yoga teacher to being a leader, to being a leader in your business, a leader in your community, and a leader for your students. And that requires you to really think and act in a different way, in a much fuller way, a bigger way. As a leader for your students, you're being their coach, you're being their mentor. You're guiding them in a much deeper way. So I want you to start thinking about, how you can take what you're currently teaching in your Zoom classes and how you can apply those teachings in the form of coaching, providing support and accountability within a safe container for your students. Because it's not really a yoga program or branding this as a yoga program. Instead, it's more about branding up your signature program something like a 12-week transformational program for blah, 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 who want to feel blah, blah, blah. Does that make sense? So who do you want to help and what is the problem that you solve? Yeah? And this is what I asked you guys earlier. You know, what is the transformation that your students are looking for? People will pay more money for this type of coaching program that's going to help them to solve a problem than they will going into a yoga course. And obviously you're going to teach yoga. You know, there's going to be other modalities that you'll likely teach as well. But this is about the identity. Like, what identity are you now connecting to as the creator of this transformational signature program? And whether you call yourself a yoga coach or a mentor or a leader, what matters is you fully understand how you can help a specific type of person with a specific problem. So have a think about this, because in order to be able to create a course like this, to create a signature program like this, you need to be able to start embodying the leader. You need to be able to start embodying a new identity that's going to allow you to show up as the leader. And that's going to allow you to start talking about the fact that you are the coach, the mentor, the guide, the leader. And to be really clear about who you are now. So it's really about deciding, isn't it? It's about deciding how you're going to help people and in what capacity you're going to do that, and then letting people know about it. So this really is, and I'm grinning because I feel like this is just an exciting pivot. Is an exciting transition for you to make from yoga teacher to leader in your field, and really create this signature program that's going to support your people. So this really is the year to do that. It is, guys, it really is. Don't be tempted to do the same that you did last year, to do the same thing, because things are moving. The industry is moving. The world is moving. We are moving. Things are moving at a fast rate, at a fast pace. We need to be prepared to stay ahead and to be ahead of the curve. And so this really is the year to make that big transformation, that pivot in your business. And the number one thing that you need to do right now is to niche down on who you help and what problem you help them with. You cannot create a signature transformational program without knowing that. The number one thing that you need to do right now is to niche down on who you help and what problem you help them with. Okay? And then shed the layers. Yeah? Shed the layers of being just a yoga teacher. Outgrow that identity, because this has to be the year when you stop thinking of yourself as just a yoga teacher. Yeah, you're a yoga teacher, but you are a yoga business badass. You're a yoga business owner. You're a yoga business founder. You are a leader. You're a yoga coach. You're a mentor. You're a guide. You're a healer. Maybe that's what you call yourself. Maybe you're a spiritual healer. Okay, you're here to lead, coach, guide, and mentor your community towards their transformation and really support your people on that journey. This is the year where we make some big changes. It's not the same world. It really isn't. This is the year where we make some big changes, transformation, pivots in our business. I want to get your feedback. I really want to know how you feel about what I've been sharing with you guys today. Can you give me some examples of signature programs? Yes, I'm thinking something for people who want to start Ashtanga yoga. Also, another program of combination of gentle yoga and yoga philosophy. I'm wondering how I can package them. Okay, so a little kind of mindset shift here is to instead think about what the modality is. Instead of thinking about the type of yoga you want to share, Instead, start thinking about the type of person you want to help. Because anything you create has to be for the person. Yeah, it has to be for the person that you are helping. And marketing is about providing solutions to problems. That's what marketing is about. And you cannot provide a solution to a problem unless you know what that problem is. Okay? And to understand what the problem is, you need to know who the person is that you are providing the solution to. So we always need to start with our ideal student. We need to start with who they are. Who are the people who you've been attracting? Yeah, who are the people that you've been helping so far? And what is the problem that they have, or the challenge? Where are they in their journey? What support do they need? So only when you know what that is can you start to package up a program for somebody. Can you start to package up a program for your community? Let's say somebody is heartbroken. I mean, I'm coming back to my own personal experience here right now. Heartbroken in 2020. I'm sure I wasn't the only one. But let's say someone is heartbroken. How would you package that up? Yeah? Maybe you've been through that yourself and you now want to create a program that's going to support people who have also gone through heartbreak, to help them to heal their heart. Yeah? So, you know, the messaging, maybe you'd call your program Heal Your Hearts, but the messaging around it, you know, it's about that, isn't it? It's talking to the person's emotion. It's talking to what the story is, talking to the journey that they're on right now, or they're going through. And yoga is a part of the program. Let's say that the yoga that you would provide as part of that program is like restorative or yin. We wouldn't call it a yin yoga program, okay? We would call it a Heal Your Heart group coaching program for I'm just really making myself laugh here. For women for women who are edging on 40 and have recently gone through heartbreak, who want to heal their heart. Okay, so you're speaking to people's journey. I'm laughing because I'm talking about myself. But you know, that's where you need to be focusing. That's why you really need to understand who it is that you're supporting here, because it's not a yoga program, really. You know, when we put it out there, it's about the people that we want to serve and how we want to serve them and the solution that we're offering to their problem. Does that make sense? Hopefully that was a good enough example for you guys. Feeling quite vulnerable here. What is the typical duration of a signature course? Okay, I mean, in my mind, when I'm thinking about a signature course, I'm thinking 12 weeks, you know, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, upwards. Because here's the thing, I want you guys to create something that's so transformative that you're putting your heart and soul into this. And I said this at the beginning, this isn't you creating a $97 course, right? I want you to be creating something that you can charge $500 for. Yeah, it's a safe container for people to come into, and you're likely going to have some pre-recorded content that maybe is drip fed out week after week. You'll be showing up live inside a Facebook group or a community, a closed community, maybe doing some Q&As. There'll be accountability, there'll be community, there'll be perhaps some workbooks, journal prompts, that kind of thing, okay? So in order to get somebody from that point A, which is a sticky place, to feeling lighter, feeling freer, and feeling in that place where they desire to be, it's going to take a bit longer than a week, okay? It's going to take maybe longer than a month. So you really want to guide people and support them to get to that point, in which case it needs, in my mind, it's like 8 weeks onwards as a signature course that would allow you to be able to charge $500, let's say. What I want you to take away from today is I want you just to let this digest, and I want you to start thinking about how you are going to package up your gifts, yeah, your gifts, your message, your expertise, how you're going to start packaging that up in a way that you can share it online and help so many people. Yeah, you can help so many people to get to the other side of the pain or the struggle or the challenge that they are experiencing right now. Yeah. And that's life changing. It's life changing for your students. It's life changing for you as a business owner. Yeah, it's life changing for you in your life. It really is life changing. And start thinking about this. And if you're really getting stuck, then it comes down to your niche, doesn't it? I said to you guys, the number one thing that you need to be doing right now is really nailing down on your niche and really understanding who you're serving and what's the problem that you're helping them with. Okay? Amazing. Thank you so much for being here today with me, guys. See you very, very soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.